The beginning of this year was actually pretty hot in most of the markets that I talk to people about, but it's kind of the driver can be a couple of things. Interest rates, like you said. But then the one thing that I'm seeing a lot of are still there's a lot of disposition properties, a lot of properties that are going to auction. Most of them office. They're still having a hard time, filling office space, and so landlords are getting frustrated and 30, 40 cents on the dollar in some cases. So let me know if you run into that. I've got a great guy down in Florida. He works for CREXI Auction, and Paul Cohen is his name, and he will guide any of your agents through a disposition type property and teach them how to make money. He's great. So if you ever run into that, let me know. Take a listen to this video I created just for you guys, and then it'll go to the advisory board tomorrow. So you guys are going to be first to see this. So take a listen. There you go.
Rock and roll, baby. Rock and roll.
I wish I could actually let the cat out of the bag, but I can't because marketing would slice and dice me. But that's forthcoming, guys. Couple things I wanted to share too. No, just to make mention, it's probably going to launch in July, but you never know with this kind of stuff. There's maybe some technology issues, but we're excited to get it launched. So looking forward to that. One thing I told Fernando that I would share with you guys, this is actually just the final of this one. With our new listing presentation, we're going to have a couple of formats on the landscape. Now, this is a presentation for obviously, like an iPad or a tablet or a laptop. So we'll have a light and a dark version. Then we'll have a portrait version so that it'll be something like this, that if you wanted to make a book or print it out, you could do something like this and put it into print. So the portrait version will have a light background, mainly because of printing, right? So all of this is going to be customizable with your name, obviously. All the things you can do, you can customize any of those bullet points. We've just put them in there so that you guys can have a starting point. You may just keep it static. I'm not going to read through all of these. I'm just kind of going to run through each slide. But we go through the selling process, the marketing process, things like that. But again, we're going to make all of these bullets customizable. So you guys can customize it to your own, save it to your own, and then go from there. Same thing with your support, what you're going to promise your clients. Again, more about what you're going to do is like, what are you to discuss, the discovery process of, why you're selling, all the things that go into that conversation. And then obviously valuation is important, and you may want to put your own spin on this. We've just made it kind of simple. Obviously, we always use the 121%. That's something I would always keep in. Make sure that your clients do know that we are a global real estate company. Any commercial property can be found anywhere really in the world. And with over 50 currency conversion tools and 20 language conversion tools, it's pretty important that you put that in your listing presentations. Obviously, this shows our global reach. We have over 1,200 offices, as it says there. That's powerful also, especially when you're talking to a client. You may not know, if it's the first time you're meeting a client, they may not know a whole lot about Century 21 Commercial. Every time I bring up this map, I was down at the Las Vegas show in May, and we had our booth down there. And this is a conversation starter. It's like, oh, wow. In fact, I'm actually started a conversation with a company called Locate AI, and they want to use our network for growth for 230 different types of retailers. And so we're in that conversation right now based on the fact I just saw that map. Obviously, subliminal sold signs are always good. We say sold, but we also put a sold sign on this, and this is all customizable, so you can put your name on here in the studio that we have.
Been using that,
Marketing
Randy.
Yep.
We've been using those signs. We've been customizing them. We even have some with agents' pictures on them, and we're getting great feedback from it. And where we sell commercial stuff is Main Street, USA. So when you're seeing that same face and our same sign consistent over and over again, it's made a big difference here in our market, certainly. All the rest of the brands, they really don't have that. They have all, mishmash of signage and
right.
And nothing is professional. I can tell you right now, nobody is professional as these signs. You guys agree? Who else?
Question. Hey, I have a question for you guys. So
Yeah.
You do know that we also have the white background signage with the obsessed gray printing with also you can do accent colors too. I don't know if you knew that or not, but we do.
We do know that.
QR codes into there.
Yeah, Antonio is bringing up the fact we should be adding the QR codes. Because so that people are, when they're pulling into one of these malls that we have, or
That's great.
A building, they can just scan that code and get the flyer right away. So
you put a QR code right here on the sign.
Yep, on the sign, it takes you a link right back to the post with all the information. And contact information right there on the spot.
Right? We have a website created for every property, like on our, not necessarily just commercial, but if we could throw a QR code on that, boom.
Yeah, it makes it super easy. You got a great idea, Antonio. Yeah.
Great, good stuff. And then this is also customizable if you want to add like LoopNet. Obviously, they're not a partner. This is our current syndication partners. With Moody's actually is not launched until next month, but we're very close to getting that finalized and done with the beta testing. This is really important because if your clients don't really know much about you, again, it's important to let them know that when we do comparisons against our competitors, and these are some of the big boys, and that's a little hard to see maybe on this screen, but we compare the top 50 commercial competitors that we feel are our competitors. The only one that somehow fudges it, and it's almost like not fair because it shows that they're up there, but I can't remember the terminology, but it shows that they have high traffic, but they're a residential company. So I think they roll all their traffic into one. But we've been ranked in the top 5 since 2015 in global web traffic. That does not include our global C21 global site either. The C21 global site gets quite a bit of traffic, and this is just commercial.century21.com. So make sure you use that in any listing presentation that you're, especially clients who don't know you. Again, more about the property. You guys know this, but the website shows up right on a tablet, on a phone, on a computer. It populates it correctly. It identifies what type of device it is, which is important when you're marketing your space. Again, more about marketing, the transaction experience. And this is kind of a white, the 21 points. We came up with 18 in commercial. You can come up with probably some more to make it 21 if you want. With a pricing strategy, and I apologize, some of this is out of whack, and you guys are the first ones seeing this too. This is kind of hot off the press before we upload it into the new commercial suite. I put this in here with this QR code. This right now takes you back to 21 Online because there's links to all of these. Sometimes newer agents don't have, some of the more expensive, like a CoStar or something like that. And so I put in here different areas you can go to. RPR Commercial, by the way, has over 800,000 listings. They have really good sold comps. Lease comps are kind of weak, but CompStack is great. And you guys know we have a partnership with CompStack. Do you guys know that?
We did not know that.
Okay, I'm going to send you a link. I want all you guys to sign up. When you sign up, this is a free service. So CompStack is a crowdsourced company, been around since 2015. They are the best of the best of the best in the way of accurate comps. CoStar is overbaked on everything they do. They contact the business owner versus an actual comp. So if you share a comp, you're going to get points for that. So when you sign up, you're going to get 200 points just for signing up on the Century 21 CompStack site. Then if you'll fill out your profile, there's another 265 points. Then if you have sold comps in we'll say the last year, and you upload those, you'll get points for those. What I tell most people is, even though I've got it under sold, I like to say use CompStack for lease comps. Sold comps are easy to come by. You can get those in RPR. You can get them in CREXI if you're a CREXI member. But use CompStack for lease comps. But I'll send you a link to that. Have all you guys sign up. It doesn't cost anything. You can't ever buy a comp from them. It's all point based. So maybe collectively you can all get your comps and load up those to the CompStack site. CREXI, great program. As you guys know, we have a 35% discount. Sounds like you're using them. Great. CoStar, not a business partner, but they're one of the top companies. And then MACRE is forthcoming. So stay tuned for that. But you can go on there right now to the Moody's, and actually they changed it to MCRE, which I wasn't happy about because the new training that I helped create between Lauren Keim and myself that we launched at the end of last year is called the MCRE training, the Master Commercial Real Estate Training Program. And they now have changed the MACRE to MCRE, which is kind of funny. And then Reonomy is also a good one. So you go here and you'll have all the hot links to all of these just by downloading that once you get to the that PowerPoint deck.
Randy, I got one question for you. Just your opinion once again. CREXI, we've had a lot of conversations with them over the last few months. Do you feel the data they have now is comparable to CoStar? Is it reaching that level? Or
CoStar has probably more data because they are data central. But for the money you pay for CoStar, I would definitely look at Moody's. I'll send you the link to Moody's, but we're not going to get a whole lot of discounts with that. But we are going to have our listings on their website. I think Moody's is going to be more, and because you're in the New Jersey market, they're going to be a better resource and a lot less money. I think CREXI is also really good on all of their information. If you look at like when you scroll down on a property and you look at all the information about that property, then you get down to business owner, they actually weight the accuracy of that information, whether it's phone, email, they'll give it 100% weighting if they've actually had someone contact them. So I like CREXI myself because you guys are kind of in CoStar country. I call this tri-state area CoStar country because people think that's the only game in town. I disagree. I probably would never use them. I would use CREXI, Moody's, CompStack, the ones that are on here.
So Moody's is going to be now a third vehicle we have here to advertise our properties for sale. And as you said, it's going to be a partnership now with Century 21, and our listings will be automatically put up there, or is it we're going to have to
automatic? Yeah, list it, syndication feed. We're actually testing right now to make sure that there's no hiccups. A lot of times when, especially lease properties, and we test a lease property, we have to make sure it's populated correctly. So I'm assuming that we'll probably be able to launch that most likely later this summer. Beta testing is pretty technical, and I can't give you all the acronyms that they use, but But yeah, that'll be available just for the syndication part. Then if you decide you want to go to the data side, their data is pretty amazing.
That's associated with a fee, right? A subscription, right? For the data?
Yeah, it's a paid subscription, but it's going to be a lot less than CoStar.
Okay.
The only difference with Moody's, by the way, as far as CoStar, is CoStar's been doing it for so long, they have a lot of data. Where Moody's has all the MSAs in the New Jersey markets, you're going to have coverage there as well. It's when you get up into the Dakotas or the Idahos of the world, their information it's accurate, but there's not as much of it because they're really on the front end of this. They've been planning to launch for 2 years now. So, but Moody's is a great provider of historical insights. That's our REIS program that we have. We have REIS on our website. We have which is Real Estate Insights. And if you guys aren't using REIS and you're not looking at those quarterly reports, I can send you a link to that as well. It's on 21 Online. All commercial specialists access it at no cost. So I'll send that along too.
Thank you, Randy.
Then just some placeholders if you want to put property descriptions, addresses, and stuff like that. You can just duplicate the pages in here. Then that's the end of that one.
We have one more question there on Moody's from Vince.
Yeah.
Vince's question in the chat there was, tell him, Vince, what your question is.
Hey, I know CoStar does. Does Moody's give you vacancy assumptions for a subject property? I can look up an office building in Fairfield, New Jersey, and get the vacancy rate for office in Fairfield as opposed to, another subject property. I mean, does Moody's do that?
Great question. I know they have. I'm going to look right now, actually.
I mean, it's not just for office. It'll do it by asset type. It'll do it for retail, for industrial, etc.
You've got you can actually do all your filtering here. If we're just going to search in, let's go. I'll just type in New Jersey. Oh, I haven't put any locations in here. That's why. I just barely had training on this on Wednesday, so forgive me if I look like I don't know what I'm doing, because I don't. Ooh, my system's froze up. I can't click on any of those. That's not good. Oh, I'm sure it's because of let me shut down a program over here. Let me shut this one down over here. Too many windows open, guys. I do have one more thing that I want to show you after we're looking at this here. All right.
My question's not critical. I don't want to hijack your presentation. I was just curious.
No, Vince. I know they have tons of information. So when you drill down and let me go back here. Let me see if I can get back to the main page. It took me to the marketing site. Oh, I'm not logged in. That's why. Hello.
Well, that's another great marketing tool while he's doing this to let our people know about selling their property and on the site it's going to be out automatically.
Yeah. So
Competition.
obviously you can search for properties, but rent comparables, sales comparables, new construction comparables, lease listings, sales listings, and market. And then you can actually get into their data hub where I'll go research for you, Vince. I know they have so much information because they have the historical data on buildings. When they buy or sell a building, they have all that data and they curate that. So I'll do a little research for the sake of time, but I'll check on that. So I want to make sure you guys know this is ever changing. Besides the marketing, we're doing a lot of changing, but right now we have 21 online. This will also be sunsetting, not right now, but towards the end of the year. But to get to the commercial section, you can either type commercial program right here, or you can click on business planning. If you remember business, you're in business. But once you get to business planning, here's all the drop downs there, and the commercial programs right there. Right now, this is what's in there. This is all being updated. I know the learning and development's updated. The discount programs aren't as updated as we'd like them to be. Some of these we're holding off on some recordings that I'm doing because of the new marketing suite we have. But that's how you get to it. So once you click on any one of these, you'll go to the landing page, and then at the bottom of each page, you can get to any one of these sections in 21 Online. That will be changing, but not for probably the next 4 or 5 months. I was going to ask about this. Are you guys using a commercial, a referral mining program with your residential agents?
I've presented it to our offices a number of times. I need to do it again. And we've had maybe 2 or 3 agents that have referred it out to one of the commercial agents that we have. But I use it. I should use it more. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. So let me just tell you kind of a best practice. So the company that started this was Tracy Hutton's company, Fernando at Sheets, and they hired a commercial manager. He's the one that started this program, and ever since he started in 2019, got about 10% of their closings was from this program. But they actually had the agents buy into it. They actually printed out the postcards, gave them to the agents, said, guys, put it in your listing presentation, or at the end, just say, oh, by the way, we have a great commercial real estate division. But by the end of 2020, 30% of the closings came from this program. And they continue to be in the top 5, and they're not the biggest companies out there. So companies that are using this, I can send you these templates if you'd like. You can customize your specialties. You can have the agents put their name in there. If they give you the lead, the way that Sheets does it is they have a referral form. The agent fills it out, hands it to them. And then what they do that I think is great is they keep them in the know of what's every step of the way. Hey, we got the listings. Congratulations. Thanks for the referral. And then, hey, by the way, we just had a price drop, or hey, by the way, we just got an LOI. Then they get their commission check. They pay 25%. Some brokerages pay 21%. But it's really works well, especially in market times like now, where you never know those small commercial investors that are selling or buying a home, especially the selling a home part of it. You never know maybe they buy corner convenience stores or smaller investments. That's why I think it works so well. So just food for thought. I'll send you a link along for that. I've got a short case study I'm going to go through, and I'm going to mention newsletter. Is everyone signed up for the newsletter?
I'm signed up for it personally, and I'm using it. We have presented it to the staff here, and certainly everyone's welcome to use it. You should be using it for all of your commercial leads that you have. It's fantastic, and I've gotten calls from it from our clients.
So the reason why it's in Moxie Engage, and we're trying to get that switched over, we're hoping we can. Moxie Engage is really good at uploading your sphere of influence email addresses, and then you create one document and you send it out. Well, this is an automatic document. You sign up for this, and it goes out on the 5th of every month. There's 3 brand new articles in commercial real estate, relevant articles and what's going on in the market today. And in this case study I'm going to show you, sometimes clients don't read those newsletters, but guess what? They see who it comes from, and they see the word commercial on there. This is a great way to differentiate yourself and stay in touch with your clients so that they know that, hey, you know what? Fernando's on this. He's sending me a newsletter every month. That's really awesome. So
tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow we're actually having the training here at 10 a.m. at our offices, at the Lyndhurst office for all our companies, and it's on the newsletter, how to set it up, how to send it out. It's not on the commercial one, it's on the residential one, but certainly all of these principles apply to both.
I want to show you this case study, and this is pretty interesting. I put this together with the aid of the agent on this case study. How many of you guys are using the Analyst Pro? I can see a couple hands. So
A couple. maybe 3.
I'm glad to set up a demo, but here's why I did this case study, because we have seen an increase in productivity with those people that use the Analyst Pro. The Analyst Pro also has some great enhancements where you don't even have to type in a description anymore. Based on the property address, you hit, create, and it will create a beautiful 1,000-word description using everything about the demographics of the area, what the nuances of the area are, more about the property. Just by clicking a button, you've got your listings are in Dash. They go out to the Analyst Pro. If you have an account, you can create a marketing flyer on the fly. So really good stuff. But let me go through this case study. And some of you may have heard of this before. I used to use a video, but I actually like to get in the weeds and to show you what happened with this agent. So an agent, this is a true story, agent got a call late on a Sunday afternoon. The gentleman on the other line was a vice president of real estate for Furniture Row, and introduced himself and said, hey, you know what? We haven't met, but I've been getting this newsletter from you for about a year and a half now. And here I am in your market. I figured you're a guy I need to talk to. So that's a testament to the newsletter. This guy called him out of the blue because he had his information. So he says, hey, short notice. I'm here tonight. I'm leaving tomorrow night. Got a couple appointments in the afternoon. Would you mind meeting me tomorrow morning at Panera Bread? And they settled on a time at 10 o'clock. He said, yeah, sure, no problem. Got a little bit of information from him, and away he went. So, this is my phone call. Sorry, I forgot I actually did this. So that's the property. So I got a vacant building. I'm looking to sell it, and they decided on 10 o'clock at Panera Bread. So what this agent did is he got the listing. Maggie knows Brody. He got a listing for over $2 million. He closed on the listing with both sides, got over 1.82 million in sales, almost a $78,000 commission check. So that's the result. How did he do it? So after that phone call, he, like a good agent, he got the address. He went to the public assessor's website, got all the property information he could find, got a couple of pictures off Google Earth, and then he Googled some more and got more pictures. That's enough for him to create a quick Analyst Pro report, basically kind of a listing presentation, if you will. Then the next step was to take those pictures, and this is the Analyst Pro here, and just take those and drag those pictures into the Analyst Pro. Then with one click of a button, he creates instant overview, and it gives a nice, beautiful description about the property, the location, what's surrounding it, so on and so forth. Then the next step he takes is he goes through and checks off all the things he wants included. I want a location study map. I want to see like mapping, infographics or demographics. Tapestry map is important. Tapestry is the life mode of a community. Traffic count maps, that's important. Then as he starts checking those off, he continues. It checks off the boxes along the way. And then he added what I call YC21 commercial. That's your listing presentation. And if you do have the Analyst Pro, I suggest that you have a listing presentation that you have I think I have 6 pages in here. I'm going to be sending the Analyst Pro some new ones. But he put, I want to know a little bit more about Century 21. Then he created a property website. He went down, he created a digital flip book of which he used in the presentation. Once he got to that point, he was done. He generated the report. Now, this is not the official flip book, but this is I just took some screenshots out of here and made my own flip book because I didn't want to go through 37 pages in a case study. But this is how it came out. He said he chose the template he wanted. He likes the full stretch, but they got other fun templates as well. Chose the colors, and then he just basically designed it how he wanted to. It does it for you. So here's the property description that came up from just one click of a button. Here's the basically property information, purchase information, some of the pictures. I don't think I have all the pictures in this case study. Some mapping, a little bit about, here's the property itself. There's the study area that we use for demographics. There's infographics, which is, average age, the routine. all the income that is populating in that area. Tapestry map, which is how they spend their money. Also, there's a life mode of the community with ages. These are all live hot links to websites. You don't do anything to do this. If you've clicked on I want an infographic, this is what it gives you, and someone can pick out, they can pick out Boombergs. What is the Boombergs? They can click on that, go to a website. Then obviously the traffic count map's very important. And then you add whatever you want about Century 21. I think I added 4 pages on this example. So with that, he won the listing as I just showed you. But my message is, guys, this is a great tool to have if you know how to use it. It's an easy to use product. If I can do it, anybody can do it. This
really
is what I created. I created this.
Say it out loud here, man, because everyone's here. It's you know how you do a CMA for a residential? It's the same. You just go from next. It's really that easy. The hardest part is adding your own pictures. After you add the pictures, this makes the report for you. It's amazing.
Yeah, this report took me, and I actually did the research too. So I wanted to see how much time it took. So I did the research I just got the address, just like Brody did. I went out and I got property information. I got the pictures. Brody did not get those. I recreated it because I want to see how long it would take me. It took me about 23 minutes to do all that because I was researching, Googling and all that kind of fun stuff. Then also deciding what I wanted included in it. And I did a couple things where I decided, I want to go back and want to add more. So easy for me to use. Then with 3 more clicks, I can create the digital flip book. That can go in a PDF or a digital flip book or a marketing website. You can choose the website of choice. It's a standalone website, so it's getting its own search engine optimization by the address in most cases. The other thing that's cool is they have different templates for 2-page flyers where you can put whatever information you want. You can choose drive time and a tapestry map. You can, this is all about mapping here. I just did mapping, but so cool. Really good tool.
It does an OM too, right?
What?
An offering memorandum? Offering memorandum?
Yes.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you can create an offering memorandum. I did one while ago. It was 150 pages. I did it with a broker that actually was up in South Dakota, and we went through it. And he wanted to create, he says, I want somebody to see everything that I can do, so that when I walk in the door, I blow them away, which is a great idea. So that's another idea, by the way, too, is this can be a calling card. If you take a property you've sold and you have really good pictures and you check off all the boxes that make a lot of sense, including financial analysis, because the Analyst Pro will do it for you. Obviously, you have to have 1 year of financials, but then you add an increase. Usually 2.5% is the norm. Then it will create the financial analysis for you. But this can be a calling card. This could be a way of sending a digital flip book to someone and introducing yourself and saying, hey, we haven't met yet, but I wanted to share this digital flip book of a property that I had sold. And you don't need to be buying or selling commercial real estate to contact me. I just want you to understand the capabilities should you ever need any information. Great practice to do, you guys, besides the offering memorandum part. It's got a lot of other things like properties tour scorecards where you can set up a property tour. You can identify the properties. You can go in front of a property. You can actually go in front of a building. It'll pull up a picture like this, and you pull the string across the top of the building, and you'll get an approximate square footage of that building if you're looking for a buyer. Maybe their sweet spot's 2,500 square feet. So you can identify properties that way as well. Of course, the financial analysis tools are really great, but part of the reason why we subsidized it, every time someone purchases this, we pay the other half because we know if someone is using it, their productivity is going to go up, especially if they use it in the right way. So I encourage you guys to take a peek at that. I can send you, a link to set up a demo on your own if you want. Just let me know. I wanted to give you this update too. We just got back from ICSC in May. This is a great event. We have our booth there, but you guys should, if you're getting into retail at all, think about getting a $300 membership to ICSC, because what you have there is over 60,000 retail tenants, developers, lenders. They're all part of ICSC. So there's also the deal making conferences in New Jersey. Actually, the one in the Javits Center in New York City is where they have the Tri-Market one. That's actually one of the bigger ones out there. So just want to put that out there. I'll send you this so you can actually upload this PDF. You can see what it's all about. There's also member benefits, what the discounts and perks are, and then all the other things that you can learn about ICSC. The other thing I'm going to send you, this is hot off the press as of May, is the new retail tenant guide. This is from the chain store guide. The chain store guide has about a little over 8,900 retail tenants. And I did not scrub this like the last one. I probably should so you can see the list here. But you can see, you've got quite a few retailers, but CVS Pharmacy, Chick-fil-A, Starbucks, McDonald's, all those companies are in here. So if you get a listing and you have the square footage, you just match up the square footage to whatever tab meets your needs. It goes all the way up to 400,000 square feet, believe it or not. And then once you get on a tab, you'll see obviously the company name. But if we were be able to scroll over, you'd see the contact name, you'd see their title, you would get their email address, and oftentimes they'll have their phone number too. So this is a great way to proactively go out and start snooping around. And this is another best practice is Brody took this list, anyone that had, someone in his, for his market in West Virginia, he started reaching out to them by getting their email addresses and putting them in that newsletter. So that was his practice of taking
That's
people.
That's a fantastic idea, Randy.
So yeah, I mean, why not?
You buy this whole list for $300 basically, and you got 900 contacts, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I'll be sending this along as well. And then this is just my challenge to you guys. Now, some of you, I'm assuming most of you are selling just commercial, or some of you selling residential, or do you do that?
It's all a blend here.
Okay, good.
Except for Maggie.
That's okay. I like blending. Blending's good. So my challenge to you is create that daily routine, especially if you're, kind of doing both. Make sure you carve out enough time to make yourself dedicate that towards the commercial, and it says they're track your process, but you're going to learn the things that work and don't work, but just stay at it, because those who give 2, 3, 4 hours a day to commercial, building the prospect list, setting up their branding, doing things like that. I think it's just a really good challenge to you guys, so you can start making some good moves, and don't procrastinate. And then that's my my little thought for the day. And it's true, because a lot of agents will take the training, and the first thing they do is they text or email me, "Hey, what now? I took the MCRE training." Like, okay, I have a conversation. What are you doing? What are you doing every day? Well, I don't do something every day. Well, why? What would be the most valuable thing for you to do every day? Well, probably setting up my branding. Okay, do that. Prospecting. Okay, learn how to prospect and refine and track. That didn't work, but this does work. The more you work on it every day consistently, those are the ones that are successful. I talk to a lot of agents and brokers out there, and the ones that do dedicate some time every day, whether they're doing a lot or not, they carve out that time, they dedicate it to commercial real estate, and that's where they start to flourish, because they bump into a deal, or they send off a digital flip book to somebody that they had an email address. Person opens it up and goes, "Holy cow, this person really knows what they're doing." They got all this great information, and they call you. So I just encourage you guys to keep swinging. And
I just want to make a comment about that, because you're talking about the flip book, or talking about the one that you hand them. And my experience here in our area is, and we've gone up against some large brands, is they don't have anything that looks like the book that we put together right there, that presentation. They have maybe a 2 or 3 page flyer about the company, and that's it. They don't have any of this. And if you go up against them, you'll win, because your presentation is a lot better than what they're giving them.
By the way, it's funny. I got a call from a broker. It's in Deadwood, South Dakota. If you guys know where Deadwood is, it's in the Black Hills. It's where Wild Bill Hickok was shot in the casino, Aces and Eights. He had Aces and Eights. His hand was shot. So that's the T-shirt that I got sucked into buying when I was up there. But I've known him for 15 years, and he called me in March. Randy, I'm all out of sorts. I've got an opportunity for a convention center. Do we have a listing presentation for commercial? Yes, we do. So I showed him the Analyst Pro. With him sitting there, and I shared my screen. In 20 minutes, I found pictures. I got traffic count maps. I got all this information. I even found some comps from just going on Chat GPT. I put it in the Analyst Pro. I gave him a 47-page book. He put it in his RFP. He won that $5.8 million casino listing, and he sold it in about 3 weeks.
Holy cow.
Yeah. So he said, "Hey, I want to invest in the Analyst Pro." He said, "I think I can afford it." So, but it shows you that, if he would have had that, he would have been able to just do it on the fly. So I just encourage you guys. I'll send you the demo link, and you can have everyone, the staff maybe go through a demo. But to spend $349 for something like that for a year, you're locked in. You're never going to have a price increase as long as you keep it, because that's the agreement we have with the Analyst Pro. So, but anyhow,
Well,
my
thank you,
story, I'm
Randy, so
sticking
much.
to it.
That was an incredible presentation. Well, I want to thank you once again just for sharing that preview of what's coming up next month with our company. You made us feel special. Everybody here is smiling. And we'll talk. I'll see you Friday probably, right? I hope.
Yep. We'll work towards that. Okay, guys. Take care. Thanks for letting me
Thank you
join
so much,
you.
Randy. Thank you.
All right. See ya.